Hello everyone, I am going to be showing you how to record cinematics in Smash Ultimate without having to use the gyro. There are a couple pros and cons to using this method versus using the gyro method. Pros: it is much easier in my opinion to set up. It's also much easier to control and you don't have to worry about shaky hands or whatever, so the cinematic can remain as smooth as possible. It can be done on any controller, Joy-Cons are not required. However, here are the cons. More resources are required for this method, which I will get into a bit. Lower quality capture for the cinematic. And though I said it's easier to set up, it is a bit more tedious to set up, which will make more sense when I show you how to do it. You also cannot use frame by frame mode to get the perfect shot that you want on the exact frame. And it also cannot be done on replays shared onto Nintendo Online, so only your own replays can be used. Now, as for which method is better, that is up for you to decide. Personally, I prefer this method, but it is up to everyone. So like I said before, more resources are required for this method. What this method requires are a micro SD card to be inserted into your Nintendo Switch. Size of the micro SD card does not matter, as we won't actually be using it, you just need it to access an option. An editing program that allows you to crop footage. If you're recording cinematics, I'd assume you already have one, but popular ones are Adobe After Effects, Vegas Pro, or Final Cut Pro. For this example, I will be using Adobe After Effects as that is my preferred program. So first you need to have a replay on your Switch to record it with. I'm gonna assume you already have one. So once you have that, you just go into Vault, you go into Replays, you go into Replay Data. You just wait for it to load. So let's just use this replay, because why not? So over here, instead of playing the replay, you want to go into over here, Convert to Video. And you just hit Convert to Video. And if you don't have a micro SD card inserted into your Switch, you won't have access to this option. So that's why you need a micro SD card in your Switch. So now, these settings really do not matter. I mean, you can turn off music if you don't want to have to turn on in your editing program, but like, it really doesn't matter. Well, actually no, this one matters, but like, it's set to pretty by default, so just leave that on pretty. So yeah, now you just play it. The title of the replay doesn't matter. Now it'll be recording. I mean, over here it really doesn't matter. So like, I usually just turn it off. So then you just like, you just wait. You have to wait for the shot, because as you can see over here, you'll see that the frame by frame option is grayed out. You do not have access to the frame by frame option, which is, I think, the biggest downfall of this method. However, as you can see, I can move this camera around, I can rotate this camera, and there are no access lines. So yeah, so because of that, you can use the joysticks on your controllers to move it around without having to worry about your hands being shaky or having to like hold it very still. So now you can just like, let's just do like a very simple rotation shot, like let's say something like, well, all right, you want to like have it be at a constant speed when you're doing the cinematic, so then when you go into the editing program, it doesn't look very inconsistent. So yeah, usually it's better to have it be slower than faster, so then you have more frames to work with when you're changing the speed of the cinematic. Because if you record it too fast, and then let's say like the cinematic that you need for it requires a slower one, then like you'll have to slow down the speed of the footage, and then when you slow down the speed, you will lose frames of the footage, and you may also have experienced warping if you use like programs like Twixtor or whatnot. But anyways, that's our cinematic. So now all you have to do is you can just quit out of the replay, and then now you go into your editing software to trim the footage and also to crop out that bottom recording part. So I will go into my editing software now to show you. So over here now we have our footage in our editing program. As I said before, this is Adobe After Effects 2020. However, this also works in other editing programs that just allow you to crop and trim the footage. So I've already trimmed the footage to be just this cinematic. As you can see, it's going to be, like if I speed through this, it's just that entire rotation cinematic. So now all you have to do is you just scale it up to just cut that out, and you could also move like the positioning of it to like just completely cut that out. However, if you do that, like the footage won't be centered, so like sometimes you may want to have the footage slightly more upwards when you're recording it, so then you can just move it down. And scale, it's a bit too zoomed out, but like, so yeah, so yeah, I've cropped out the bottom. And also, like, if you're like recording this for a montage or like whatever, you sometimes don't even need to scale it, or not that much, because you could just like I'll just add my own. Like, what you can do is you can just add black bars. So yeah, you can just like add black bars to cover that footage as well. So yeah, and then like, yeah, that covers it. But I mean, if you want your footage to be in, like, if you don't want it to be cropped out by black bars, then yeah, you just scale it up to like, so until it gets rid of that. So yeah, now you have your footage. However, here's something that you can do in Adobe After Effects with your cinematics that you cannot do in, well, you can do it in Sony Vegas, but Sony Vegas doesn't have a graph editor. And having a graph editor is so helpful when doing cinematics for like montages and stuff, because here what you can do is, first let's just pre-comp this footage. And now that footage is pre-comped, so now we can go in here and then effects and presets. And here we can just add Twixtor. So yeah, we have this now. So now in here, we can just open the time remap, and then you can just, so let's say we want this to be like 3 seconds long. Drag this here. You can just cut that out. So now here, you can see the footage is much faster. We'll lower the quality just to make it easier to load. And there. So now that has all RAM previewed. So you can see, yeah, that's the footage. However, here's the really nice thing about Adobe After Effects, which is why I prefer this program, is what you can do is you can, over here, you highlight these keyframes, and you keyframe assistant and the easy ease. So with easy ease, what that does is it just makes it changes the speed of the footage. So then, like, as you can see, like over here, it'll go slow, then faster, and then slower. However, what the thing I prefer is, so here you have this graph editor that's only available in Adobe After Effects. So with graph editor, I like to just have these bars look like this. So what that does is it goes from fast to slower to fast. And it looks really nice. So over here, I will just have it RAM preview again. Alright, so now it's been RAM previewed, and then I'll just show it to you. So yeah, we can look at that again. And as you can see, it goes from slow. It starts off slow. No, it starts off fast, then goes into slow, and it picks up speed again, which I think looks really nice for a cinematic. And once you're done editing the cinematic, you can just render it, composition, pre-render, yada yada. Just you with your own editing program, you can figure out how you want to. Well, rendering is different for every editing program. But yes, this is the method to record the cinematic without having to use the gyro. And yeah, hope this helps, and thank you for watching.